Equinety Horse XL and Equinety Ultimate OEC helps keep horses' bodies in the best shape possible when competing and going down the road. The amino acids in Equinety products help horses both at home and on the road. Horses recover faster and overall have healthier coat and hoof quality. Equinety products are a go-to for a solid supplement foundation for all horses at any stage of life, no matter what their job is. Equinety Horse XL is made up of 100% pure amino acids specifically formulated to give the body what it needs in order to promote repair at the cellular level. The Equinety Ultimate OEC is a flaxseed-based omega-3 with natural vitamin E and colloidal silver all in one, which makes for a very powerful antioxidant, helps neutralize free radicals, and helps to reduce inflammation. For more information, please visit www.teamequinety.com. That is www.teamequinety.com. You're listening to the Breakaway Breakdown, the bi-weekly podcast featuring breakaway roping's top talents from the professional level down to the amateurs, news, and more. We're going to be covering the fastest sport on dirt. I'm your host, Kaitlin Gustave. Hey Breakaway Ropers, it is Kaitlin Gustave with another bonus episode of the Breakaway Breakdown podcast. We are so glad you're here, and I am more than thrilled to announce and share with you guys the 2021 World Champion Breakaway Roper, and that is Sawyer Gilbert from Buffalo, South Dakota. At just 19 years old, she won the world title, and she also won the national finals of breakaway roping average title. She had a phenomenal week. She's the only girl that roped 10 head. So, wow, can you believe it? She rode a sorrel horse. She rode her paint. It was phenomenal. Sawyer came into the NFBR sitting second in the PRCA WPRA world standings behind the regular season leader Shelby Boisley. And after placing in 5 out of 10 rounds, over $8,000, plus earning an additional $11,000 from winning the average after roping 10 head in 46 3 seconds, Sawyer shot herself to number 1 in the world with $71,653.83. And Shelby ended up finishing as the reserve champion with $69,456.61 in season earnings. It was so much fun. Sawyer was electric. She is a gamer. She does not hold back, and you're really going to hear it in this interview. So I don't want to take up any more of your time. Enjoy this awesome interview with the 2021 World Champion Breakaway Roper, the second ever and the first time in Las Vegas, Sawyer Gilbert. I don't even have words for you right now to ask you, and I'm sure you don't have words. But Sawyer, you just made complete history over the past 2 days at the 2021 National Finals of Breakaway Roping, winning the average and the world title.
Wow.
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 Like, what do you have to say about that?
It was my dream before it was even possible for breakaway ropers. And to win the average and the world title, obviously coming into this, I wanted to win the world for sure, because it's, the coveted gold buckle. Mm-hmm. But to win the average, to get me to that world title, it's even more special. Like I had to rope my number 1 calf, then 2, 3, 4, and then when I got to the 10th one, it's just like, I don't need to win the round, but I need to catch my 10th round calf. Mm-hmm. That's all that matters. And when they said, average champ, I was like, perfect. I expected that, obviously. But I wasn't sure. Like, I still knew that it was close. I was pretty sure that I won the world, but me and Shelby have been back and forth all year, counting cents, counting pennies. And to get the world title, it's awesome.
No, I'm starting to cry. I've been crying all afternoon. This is such a big deal. And you dominated. You caught all 10. You had a few barriers, but that didn't hinder you at all.
No.
That is phenomenal. And, to going in, like they said, it was around $80 between you guys coming down to the final round.
Yeah.
It's so neck and neck, and you and Shelby are both great athletes. How do you put that pressure aside with it being that close?
I thrive on pressure. Like, I do better, just like at Cheyenne, just like at Pendleton, just like Salinas. Like, when the pressure gets high, I do better. And that's why one of my greatest strengths. I'm so glad I get to have it. And I mean, nothing against Shelby, but I was so happy that I got to go last and not her. Because I've been that way where she gets to go last, and it's tough. It's hard watching it from the other end of the arena.
Yeah. Does that give you a lot of relief that you didn't have to sit in the back and wait it out?
Kind of. Plus, which one of my most favorite things about being last in a short round or in the 10th round is that when you catch, then you get to throw the big fit and like hoorah your horse around. Like that's instead of like, if you're like first out and you make like a stud run, you can just.
Yeah, because it's like, sitting there.
No, please God, don't let anybody beat me. But when you're 10th, you can, fall off your horse and, cry a little bit and throw your rope and hat and try to keep it composed. But
I love it. I guess I've never had anyone break it down like that, but that's a great explanation.
Yeah, like
of it.
that's honestly like the way that I look at it. Like, I want to be first in short round, so when I catch and like win something, I can throw the biggest fit. Yeah,
I love it.
I don't get to. I've like a total of all the millions of calves I roped. I think I've got to throw a fit like 3 times. And most of the time, like at Pendleton, I just clap for myself. It was a very lame one.
It's a lame one, but it wasn't a lame win coming home with all of the stuff you won from Pendleton.
No.
Now, I want to talk. I know we've talked about your season before, but now that the NFR's over. Talk about your season coming up here and then coming into the NFBR, and it all unfolded right in front of all of us.
I don't know. I mean, next year coming up, I'm gonna approach it like the last year. I'm gonna be smarter for it. I'm gonna have people in my corner that are really in my corner, and I'm gonna do the traveling a little different because I want to go to more. Everybody. That's like one of the like. Some of the older girls are saying, and even some of the girls my age that are still in college are like, I'm not going to go as much this summer. I'm going to back off. I'm just going to go to the big ones. Screw that. I'm going to them all.
Yeah.
I want to go to as many as I possibly can and win as much as I possibly can.
Yeah. No, that is awesome. And Sawyer, you were the youngest girl here. And to go out and just completely show off, show out. How? I mean, there's veterans. There's Larry, there's JJ, there's Jackie, there's Kelsey. There's, all these veterans that you're going up against.
I never really think of myself as a 19-year-old. Like, I wasn't, like my dad always tells me, like, I was a high schooler when I was in elementary. And I was a college kid when I was in junior high. And now I'm an adult, even though I'm supposed to be in college. Not going back to college. That's official. My mom said that she was really mad at me. She was a PA. She was like, you need to go back to college. Education is important. I'm like, Patty, give me 1 year. See if I can make this into a business. Patty, if you're listening to this, I can make it into a business. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
But
Mom, here we go. Making a living with the breakaway rope.
Yes. Keep your job, though. I'm going to need money. But I never really considered myself a 19-year-old. And I never considered myself a kid.
Yeah.
And when people call me a kid, I get very angry. I can deal with a lot of things, but when people call me a kid, and I know I act like a kid, like Jackie hugged me. She's like, good job, you dumbass. Like, I like that because I know that I am. Like, that's just my deal. But I don't think of myself as a kid. I don't want to be a kid, and so I just treat it like a business, treat it like an adult, take care of your business, be professional.
Yeah. No, I love that. Now, going into it, what was your game plan going into the, before round 1? And now it's over, all 10. Did you execute that game plan?
Like, we practiced it. Like, we practiced, like, having a 10-header, having 5 headers, bang, bang, bang. And I underestimated the fact of how stressful it was going to be. Like, I told several girls, like, what round are we on? And what number, and like how the only thing I want to do after this is eat a steak You know, like I'm tired. Like I want to come down off my adrenaline high, and but on the same side, like you don't. You want to live in that moment forever. But if I had to live in that moment forever, I think I'd have a heart attack. But I wanted to go.
Love it.
I wanted to take all 10 rounds, and I wanted, no matter what, even if I knew I ran through the barrier, I wanted to catch them because if I knew that if I caught all of them, there was going to be a chance. I know I'd place in the average, and if I got out of the barrier, I know I'd win the average. And so, I broke 2 barriers, but
That's not bad.
I'll have it.
Having 5 head back to back both days. That's not terrible.
Yeah, my hamster got very, very wound up.
Yeah.
My horse got very wound up. It was okay. I still saw the start. That's what my father told me, and so I'm not going to blame myself.
And your horse, you were on a sorrel to start off. What is that horse?
That is my Hollywood horse. I've had her for, I think, almost 4 years now. She is. We hate each other. We love each other. I would kill her. I would live for her. Like I have never had.
It's a love-hate relationship.
It is, but I wouldn't trade her for the world. She's taught me a lot. She is so freaking tough. She is. She fractured her splint bone in the slack run at Cheyenne. We didn't know it until we had already hauled her to Salt Lake, and I was going to run her there again, and she probably would have worked. Like, she is stupid tough. And that's probably a good thing because I think I need a stupid tough one.
Yeah.
But we're the same. We're the same. Always fighting our heads against each other. But there's no cheating her. She's gonna give me her best when I need it.
Yeah. So was it? And I know you switched. You got on the paint, Roger. Your trusty old paint.
Yes, the trusty old paint.
Yeah. What was this? What was the deciding factor to switch onto Roger?
She reared out. Hollywood reared out one time, and it was my own fault because I was amped. I was as jacked up as I could have been, and she needed somebody just to go, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I knew that Roger would be awesome.
Yeah.
And so I got on him for the last 2 rounds because he's the horse that made me. He's the reason that I do the things that I do. And so I knew it only felt fitting to give him a chance to run 2 here.
No, that's when you backed up in the box on him. When I saw you first switched, I was like, no, I don't know why you did. I had a feeling it was the rear out.
Yeah.
But I was like, that horse deserves that.
Yeah.
That's, that was cool that you rode him here on 2 head because everyone knows you riding the paint starting up.
Yeah. Everybody still remembers the Sawyer Gilbert on the paint horse that had her boots tucked in her pants and probably like a misshaped black hat when it was 110 degrees out. Yeah, that was me. She's still in there. We just put a professional spin on it now. Like now we put makeup on, and and now we put our pants on the right side of our boots. But also, I'm sponsored by like a clothing company, so that's like the weirdest thing in the world because who would want to sponsor the cow punchy kid from Buffalo, South Dakota? But
no, I love that, and to hear you explain where you came from, how you started, like you said, pants in the boots, your hat. I do remember all that.
I didn't care. That was like one of the biggest deals. Like
you're there for one thing.
Yeah, I saw everybody. Like I saw Jackie looking like a prom queen. Like I saw that. Like Jackie, if you're listening, I saw that. I know you're doing it. I saw the girls dress the way that they did, but I didn't care. None of that had any effect on me. That's the way I dressed to do everyday things at the ranch, doing things like that. So I didn't care what anybody else did or thought of me, and so that's what I did.
It's
I
who
felt
you
comfortable.
are.
Yeah.
It's who you are.
Yeah.
No, and I'm so glad that you've always been true to your roots there.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Well, small town Buffalo.
Small town Buffalo.
Winning a world champ.
Yes.
Title.
It's a pretty big deal. It's pretty amazing that I didn't really even notice that 3 girls made it from Harding County. And one's my neighbor. Well, actually, both of them's my neighbor, even though the one doesn't. Her parents are our neighbors. But it's pretty special. It's pretty special that we get to do that kind of thing. Even if we don't see each other a lot, but we all have the same understanding. Harding County, Guam. Nobody's out there like a per capita. There's 4 times as many cows as there are people. That's why we're good breakaway ropers. We have a lot of stock.
A lot of stock to practice
Yes,
on.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. And was your family here?
They were, they were here. They were sitting front and center, front row. Heard them every time. I didn't look at them because I was like, shut up. Like, we haven't won anything yet. Stop talking.
We're in the zone.
Yes, like the arena, just the arena, no outside forces. But they were sitting there right there. They were cheering me on. They were. I think they were probably crying before I was. It was probably more stressful on them than it was me.
Yeah, to sit back there because
Yeah.
they don't know what you're gonna do. I mean,
No.
you're in the box. You have your game plan in your head. They don't know what your game plan is.
No.
At that moment.
No, and like half of them, like, I love them. Don't get me wrong, but some of them, if I listened to the game plan, I would still have my pants tucked in my boots and I'd ride backwards. And so I listen to them and I know that they want me to do good, but I own my own deal. And I'll listen to it, but half the time, whatever they tell me goes in one ear, out the other. I've already got my mind made up. I'm really stubborn, really hard-headed. And even if it probably should have taken the advice, I'm not going to listen to them. But my dad was down there, which I was incredibly grateful for. He was in charge of telling me what my calf was and what number we were on and taking care of the horses because I would be...
He had a specific job.
He had a very specific job, and he wanted to jump the gun and tell me, you have to be, 4.32 seconds to win this X amount of money. I'm like, no, nah.
We're not thinking about that.
We are going to see the start, and we are going to try to catch the calf because this is the hardest calf to catch right now in the world. So that's all we care about.
And you did it. You knocked down
Yeah.
that final calf in 2.5 seconds.
Yes.
Man, and I know we've kind of jumped around from the horsepower. The horse that really won you a ton of money is big.
Is big enough. Yeah.
Big enough. And you didn't ride that horse here.
I did not ride that horse
It's
there.
your brother's horse. Did he come at all? Did he bring the horse?
No, the little sucker is sitting in Harding County in ass-deep snow, taking care of cows, wrestling. He's like
He's
all
back
in.
to being the ranch horse.
Yeah, mostly because like big enough's here. My brother's
Your brother's in the
wrestling.
snow.
Yes, my brother's in the snow, but he didn't want to come down because he was wrestling, which I was kind of mad at him for. But then on the same side, he doesn't have any horses at home to actually practice on, so I guess maybe that's a good break for him. But no, Big Enough was here. He was tied. He was tied to the fence. I rode him at some of the other jackpots leading up to this, and I might ride him in some of the ones after, but. That horse is so incredibly good on longer scores. That's his deal. And that just didn't feel like his setup here.
Where you won at on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm thankful for that horse, but it felt right to ride my Hollywood mare.
Yeah. No, I think you did a great job. Great performance. Great showing. Great horsepower. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Now, your fastest run was a 2.0. You split that round 6 win with Kelsey Chase.
Damn it, Kelsey. I'm just kidding.
Dang it, Kelsey.
Dang it, Kelsey. Kelsey can have the buckle. Kelsey told me that she was keeping the buckle.
Yeah, that's what she came up and told us.
I guess I will let her have that one.
She said, Sawyer's got enough trinkets going home. I'm going to take this one.
Yes. Which was one of the deals. Like, I watched the Breakaway Finals last year, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to be there next year. And I want to go around buckle. I don't care if I have to wait till the 10th round. It's not the wise decision to make. I want to go around buckle. Because I think it's pretty special to have a go around buckle because it is like the toughest roping in the world.
Yeah.
To win one round. It's kind of like my style. I like to win rounds. I would prefer to win all 10 rounds by a second and then the average and the world title. But it's not. Somebody has to talk me off that ledge.
Man, and I want to talk about your intensity because you back in the box, you have your arm cocked up, and you are so intense focusing in on that shoe. Where does that come from?
I'm an intense person. Like I'm all in, no matter what. I'm either all in or all out. And there's lots of people that will say, "Yep, all in," or, completely that way. And like there was this summer. There was a couple people telling me, like, your horse would score so much better if you'd like tuck it up and just hold it down. And I was hitting the fences because of my first swing. I'd get it up real fast and I'd hit it. And they're like, tuck it under your arm, and don't rear back on them and look like Junior Nagata. and I worked on that, like coming up after Cheyenne. I was trying to work on that in the rodeo setting, trying not to like rear back all the way because I didn't want to tip my horse over at Pendleton, like the month leading up to Pendleton. But I did it over the 4th, tucking my rope under my arm, and I didn't feel like I was giving it 110%. And that's a big deal for me. That whatever I do, I will do anything all the way, 110% every single day. And I didn't feel like I could get it up fast enough. I didn't feel like if I had a money stumble right there to be 1-4, I wasn't going to get it on him. And so I switched and I went back to that. And it's not that my body position fouls me scoring. It's that I start my right hand before I start my left hand. My horse runs through my hand. So that's like, honestly, people would probably call it a weakness. I call it one of my biggest strengths.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's whatever you think.
Yeah, I still rear back on one, but it's fine today.
And rearing back, I was going to say, you always have I love watching you finish your run. The way you pitch your slack and finish.
Yeah.
It's so, like I said, I think your word is intense. Where,
Same kind of
the
deal.
aggression right there.
Like we've practiced it. Like I don't do it in the practice pen. Like I stay up and, I look real, horse person, training one on. But like when I get into that winning mindset and I have one on him to be however fast to win a world title, get as far back as you can to try to break it off faster. It really helps. I think it came from the paint because he is going down and left, and then he's going up to the left. And so, I would get...
Yeah, because he quarters.
Yeah, he quarters really bad. So I'd cock my hips to get, stay in the middle of him. And then when I got on the mare, she was like, oh, this mare is free. She's not free, but she's free to me. And so I'd, start, leaning back, trying to get her to roll up. It makes for a cool picture.
It does make for a real cool picture. I'm sure we're going to get some cool ones from our on-staff photographer now, Jamie Arviso. So.
Yeah.
Man, and Sawyer, you don't get to take that gold buckle home right now.
No. But I know it'll show up.
It's going to show up, and it's going to show up with Sawyer Gilbert.
Yes.
Etched in.
Etched in.
I know you said earlier in an interview that it's starting to sink in. Is that going to be the moment it sinks in when you get that buckle in your hands, or is that going to be a whole nother emotion when it comes in the mail?
I don't know. I think I've already looked at the buckle and I've already imagined my name etched in it. It's a cool buckle. I'm scared to wear it. I mean, I've already broken my Cheyenne buckle.
Oh no!
Several times. I'm hard on stuff, but
that's what happens when you're a cowgirl.
Yes, that's what happens when you eat too much chocolate. No, I don't know. I think it's already starting to set in. On the outside, I expected it. I expected to win. And so now where I have one, now it's good job, Sawyer. Tomorrow, you're going to have to wake up at 6 o'clock, stop sleeping in, and, get back in the gym and work hard. And then, the horses probably get to have some time off, but I don't.
Yeah, so what is 2022 season going to look like? You're like you said, you're going to wake up, start going to the gym. Is it all starting tomorrow?
Maybe not tomorrow.
Give yourself a few days.
I thought one of my biggest regrets this summer is that I didn't get to celebrate. One, because I'm not 21, and so when people go and celebrate, they go and drink, and I didn't get to do that. So that was one of my biggest regrets is when you go and win Cheyenne and Pendleton, you want to go and throw a hoopla and have fun and hang out and the people that I was hanging around, they didn't do that. Nothing against them, but looking back on it now, I have my differences with them. I don't know if they didn't want me to do that, and it was my own fault for not going and doing it.
Yeah,
but that's
your own choices.
Yes, that's one of the things that I am changing from now on. Is that if I even if I was too flat, haven't caught one in 3 months, too flat, don't win nothing. If I want to go and have fun and enjoy the moment, that's what I'm going to go and do. And that's what I'm going to do until probably after Christmas.
Yeah,
it's just enjoy it,
just have fun, soak it in.
Yeah, and then in knowing that, probably there's girls that didn't get here today, or girls that have been sitting at home watching this the whole time that have been getting better. And so to say, I always tell my dad and I always tell people, the minute you stop and say, I'm the best in the world, you're not. Somebody else already could beat you tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm the best right now, but I don't know if I'm going to be tomorrow.
You're the best right now, but it's always changing. You never know how your performance is going to be. I'm glad you said that, because anyone can have an off day. You've seen everyone have off days.
Yeah.
It's not out of the ordinary, but it's awesome when you are successful.
Yeah. Rodeo is a very, show me sport. And so just because you won today doesn't mean you're going to win tomorrow. You gotta be the best you every time.
Yeah. Now, Sawyer, I want to finish off this podcast. What is something, this is so new. Like we said, you're the youngest one here. Mm-hmm. It's slowly making its way to the big stages for the National Finals of Breakaway Roping. What advice or what could you say for all the girls that are on the fence about doing this and going on the road?
It is tough. Mm-hmm. I am not one. I'm 19 years old. I'm pretty sure I am made of steel. Like, mm-hmm. nothing can hurt me. Convince me otherwise. But it is the toughest thing that you will do. Mm-hmm. It's also the funnest thing that you can do. Mm-hmm. It's also the most rewarding thing that you can do. You will not, have hurt feelings, get mad, mm-hmm. not cry, because I'm not a crier. This is the first time I've cried in like a long ass time. But I've wanted to cry several mm-hmm. times. It's the best thing that you can do for yourself, mm-hmm. and sometimes it's the very worst thing as yourself. The best advice that I can give to like the younger girls coming mm-hmm. up, or the girls that aren't sure if they want to do it yet, mm-hmm. surround yourself with people that want you to truly win. Mm-hmm. And be very mindful of the people that you put in your rig and put in your back of your corner, because you're basically living with these people. Mm-hmm. My family is always going to support me. I feel like now I have friends that are always going to support me. Mm-hmm. I thought I did when I started the season. Now I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
And I had learning curves. It was very good life lessons, but I'm so glad I get to spend I guarantee that my best friends in the world are standing out at this door,
waiting for you.
Yeah,
to be done.
Probably to buy them drinks, because that's what I said I was going to do. But they wanted me to win. Mm-hmm. Taylor Munsell, I love her. Mm-hmm. She's awesome. She was second in the average. Mm-hmm. She ropes one. She's winning the average when I back in. But it wasn't. She was there before I walked in the box, and it wasn't about her.
It was about you.
It was about me.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that I took it from her, but I'm so glad that I get to have those people in my corner, and mm-hmm. not people that say that they're my friend and then mm-hmm. go, when I do win, be like, it's easy, or if all you can do is catch them, you'd mm-hmm. be great, stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. It's definitely good to have good people in your corner,
yeah.
and want to see you excel as much as they want to excel as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's hard when people are say that they're in your corner and are trying to drag you down. It's mm-hmm. hard. I got to give the most credit to myself to be able to win the world, is having somebody like that. Mm-hmm. Because it made me so mentally tough. Mm-hmm. I owned everything I did. I understand everything I did, and everything that they told me, everything that anybody told me, I took it into consideration mm-hmm. and applied it. Honestly, it made me tough enough.
You're definitely tough enough. You're definitely tough enough, and it showed. Mm-hmm. And you have proof.
Yeah.
You have proof that it showed after the 2021 season.
It's going to be weeks until I can put this on Instagram. I'm going to have somebody else write it for me, because I'm not even going. I don't even want to look at them. Like I just want to live it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that's so exciting, Sawyer.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, because I know you want to go celebrate mm-hmm. and see your friends and family. So congratulations,
Thank
Sawyer,
you.
on being the second ever National Finals of Breakaway Roping World Champion and Average Champion, and the first ever champion in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Thank you. Number 2 is my lucky number.
Number 2 is your lucky number.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for listening to this bonus episode of the Breakaway Breakdown. Sawyer, congratulations again from all of us at the Breakaway Roping Journal, and we look forward to seeing what's in store for the 2022 season for you.